I lived with my roommate for exactly 11 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days before I realized something was deeply, objectively wrong. When I first met him, Kyle seemed normal enough, quiet, kept to himself, paid rent on time. The kind of roommate you hope for when you're not trying to make a new best friend, just someone who won't microwave fish at 2 a.m. There were signs, though. The first was the milk. I don't mean he drank a lot of milk. I mean he treated milk like it was a renewable emotional support resource. Every time I opened the fridge, there were at least 4 gallons, different brands, different fat percentages, lined up like some kind of dairy tasting flight. I asked him about it once. He just said, "You never know what kind of day it's going to be." I laughed. He didn't. Still, whatever. People are weird. I moved on. Then came the alarms. Kyle had alarms set throughout the day. Not like a few reminders. No, I'm talking dozens. 6:12 a.m., 7:03 a.m., 9:47 a.m., 11:11 a.m., 2:26 p.m., none labeled. They'd go off. He'd stare at his phone, nod slightly, and go back to whatever he was doing. I asked him what they were for. He said, timing is important. Again, no elaboration. At this point, I started to feel like I was living with a side character in a thriller movie who either dies mysteriously or turns out to be the villain. But the real turning point? The notebook. One night, Kyle left in a rush, sprinted out the door after one of his alarms went off. He forgot his backpack on the couch. I wasn't trying to snoop, but the thing was half open, and inside was this black notebook. And on the visible page were just tallies. Hundreds of them, grouped into sections. Some circled, some aggressively scratched out. No words, just marks. I closed it immediately because I didn't want to be that roommate trademark, but also because I suddenly felt like I had accidentally looked at something I wasn't supposed to understand. When he came back later, he went straight to the backpack, checked the notebook, and visibly relaxed. He noticed me watching. We made eye contact, and he said, "Consistency is how you stay ahead." At this point, I started locking my bedroom door. The last straw happened about a week before I moved out. It was around midnight, and I went to the kitchen for water. Kyle was already there, standing in front of the open fridge, just staring into it. Not moving, not grabbing anything. Just standing there in the glow of 4 gallons of milk like it was a religious experience. I said, "Hey." He didn't respond. I said it again. Slowly, without looking at me, he goes, "Do you ever think about how close everything is to going bad?" I said, "The milk?" He said, "Everything." I did not ask a follow-up question. The next morning, I started looking for a new place. I didn't confront him. I didn't ask for explanations. Some mysteries are better left unsolved, especially when they're signing your lease renewal. On move-out day, Kyle helped me carry my boxes to the car. Totally normal. Friendly, even. As I was leaving, he said, "You made it easy to keep things balanced." I didn't know what that meant, and I still don't. But here's the part that still messes with me. About a month after I moved out, I realized something. I had never once seen any of those milk jugs empty. Not in the trash, not in recycling, not even in the sink. Just replace every time. Karma!